about to go downtown.
Downtown, hey!
Downtown. You about to go downtown.
Good morning, good afternoon, good night, and welcome to another week's episode of Downtown World. Don't waste no time with negativity. And I'm truly, truly excited. As you guys know, I love to rep my queens and love to speak about what they have going on. Now, in this week's episode, Don't Waste No Time with Negativity, we have the queens, the hosts, and the owners of the Pretty Privilege podcast hosts. Dom and Soul and Dom, because there's no particular order, and we love both these queens. Welcome, ladies.
Hey.
Hi.
It's Pretty Girl Privilege podcast.
My apologies. Pretty Girl Privilege podcast. I got this right here.
No.
No, it's okay.
It's all good. It's all good.
But let's start right there because the title of your guys' podcast is so catchy. And right away, as a female, I can't assume for men, but I was just like, ooh, what is this about? Like, what am I about to be given over here? And you guys are given a lot of fruit. So what inspired that name? And I know we're getting deep really quick, but what inspired the name of Pretty Girl Privilege podcast? What inspired like you guys to even come together and just connect?
So good question. So literally, like you just said, how on our podcast, we talk about like a little bit of everything. So her and I, we met at work and we just had the same lives. We worked in corporate America. We both were small business owners, mothers up to sons. We both had crazy experiences in college and in our just careers, our lives in general. And so we were like, let's start a podcast and we're going to call it Pretty Girl Privilege Podcast because people pretty much will think it's the obvious. Like, okay, they're two pretty girls starting a podcast. Yeah. But it's really a play on words because we have so much to offer that
outside of being pretty.
You do.
So that's what we wanted to bring our platform to. Pretty is not, honestly, it's not as visual as people think it is. Like to me, being pretty is being a boss. Mm-hmm. To me, being pretty is having a pretty soul, being good to people, helping your community, uplifting other women. There's a lot more to being pretty than looking good.
Period.
And that's pretty much what we wanted to build a platform about.
Love that. And might I say, for those of you listening in, you don't get to see all of this beauty in front of me right now. But if you're watching with our YouTube family, like ladies, you guys are looking immaculate.
Thank you so much.
Listen, I'm one of those people, like, I don't care. I'll be at the grocery store. I'll be when the stores were kind of open. I will tell anyone, like, you look great, because those are the things that also help you to be more of a beautiful and a pretty person in life. Spreading that energy and bringing forth that energy, paying it forward when it has no way to benefit you.
Yes. Absolutely.
100%. And that's why we built a platform.
It's definitely very important to just continue to share that energy with every woman you kind of come in counter with, because that is how we truly help to remind each other that we are queens, and the ancestors as well, I feel like, are smiling down on us when we do things like that.
Absolutely.
No, definitely. And I just feel like with our walks in life, me and Dom have just met some incredible people. So our way of creating a platform for ourselves, we also decided to create a platform for all these incredible women. Mm-hmm. And men, just Black individuals in general, people that we know that are creators that might not have a platform or somewhere to come voice about what they're doing and show their talents. And we just wanted to be able to create a space for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So specifically the name, how did you guys like brainstorm or come up with that? Was it like girls' night? What was happening specifically when the name?
We used to spend maybe I say a solid 12 hours on the phone just talking. Mm-hmm. Like that's honestly where our podcast came from. Just kind of just going down these rabbit holes together about different things. And just realizing I need to be heard. She's like, me too. I'm like, girl, we need to put this on wax. Mm-hmm. People need to hear us. People need to see us. People need to feel us. Mm-hmm. And we're like our biggest motivators. We're both really big on manifestation, not just thinking it, but also doing it. We both have a really strong drive. We just decided to come together and just create something. And honestly, I'm just 100% grateful that, it turned out to be what it is. and we're just going to continue to go with it. And pretty girl privilege, honestly, pretty girl privilege is something that we've heard our whole lives.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and it's not always in a good way.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people assume that you might have the things you have, or, you know, the acclimates or the things that you've achieved are only because you are a beautiful woman, and we work hard.
Yeah, I literally remember, like, we were brainstorming with names, and like she said, we used to be on the phone like all day, and we were like brainstorming. One day I said, I was like, I don't know, we can toss around and think about pretty girl privilege. And she was like, oh girl, I like it. And I was like, I don't know, I don't want people to think that we're like so cocky. And then we said it to a couple people, and they were like, keep it. They're like, keep it, that's the name. And
very catchy.
Yeah, it's catchy. And here we are now.
Yeah, but catchy in the sense of like, just it grabs you, it makes you want to think or see or click, what is that about? Because you're either going to assume or you're going to be curious to know where you guys took it with a title like that. So I like that.
and I'm really big on branding. So like when we were throwing out names, I don't know, like I'm big on acronyms. So with the PGP, I'm like, you know, we were like Pretty Girl Podcast, or like, you know, we dance around a lot of things, and PGP to me, it's a statement. We're able to make a statement without even having to say our full podcast name. Like I want people to know, oh, that's PGP. Like it's very catchy and it's very good for branding.
I agree.
That's another reason why we stuck with that name as well. But yeah, I mean, and also just the fact of like, people are very, in the time we live in, people are more worried about the unknown. So I think a lot of people are more likely to like something because they don't know where it's coming from. Like, and a lot of people ask us that question. That's usually the first question we get. Like, why is it called that?
Yeah. No, I completely agree. Hence, downtown, it is an acronym. Don't waste no time with negativity, right? So when you say downtown world, that's the energy I want to bring forth, what I want to learn, incorporate, manifest. And as well, a statement that we do say here, and I try to live by it as much as possible, is eat fruit and mind your business.
Love it. Love it.
Mind the business that pays you.
Yes, I love that so much. Eat that fruit.
Period. So when we say that, obviously it's for the physical, in the physical sense, it's great for our skin, your yoni, all the things. And as well, when I say fruit, I also mean like spirit, knowledge, wisdom. And listening to your guys' podcast, I know you guys haven't dug so deep yet, but just about 10, 11 episodes in, you guys have covered so much that's so needed to hear from mothers from this standpoint. So thank you for just being brave and wanting to be a part of the space, because for a lot of people, it's very difficult to press that record button.
That you saying that means a lot to us.
Yes.
Because there were times that we would watch episodes back. I mean, you guys didn't see everything. I mean, but we left a lot on the table. And there were times where we would call each other like, we need to cut this out. Or I got drunk and I ran it, girl. Yeah. Like it was to the point, like our last episode was, at this point, I need therapy, because during us watching the edits, we were like, we need therapy.
Yes.
You know, but
that episode.
We definitely, it's raw, it's real. I mean, I cried.
Yeah.
So for me, it was definitely a big step to be able to put everything out there on the table. And I mean, we're doing it because we want to be able to inspire someone else.
Yeah.
You definitely.
You know, we want women to know that they're not alone. You know, we also like to have fun. So I mean, there's a lot of episodes where we do have fun as well. So we kind of just like to have a little mix.
Yeah, just that's what being a woman is all about. Like, and I try to keep that in mind when dealing with women of any race, like especially my Black queens, but like women of any race, because it's like, Ma, we both go through cycles. We both like all of these things that women go through that men would never really understand. So it's very important. And I'm very happy you brought up episode 10 with, I believe it was Dr. Amber, because that conversation was like everything. It's everything like I go through, that I speak on, that I want to heal on, and I want to grow through. And, you know, you guys, more specifically, you guys are speaking about generational curses. And at this point in life, like, do you feel like starting the Pretty Girl Privilege podcast is a part of you guys breaking that generational curse?
Yes. I think so, because we're putting out the message that it's okay to not be okay. You know, I feel like a lot of people it's just one of those like double entendres. It's like, we know it's there, but at the same time, we don't want to see it. We don't want to talk about it. And we just wanted to show the people that know us that we're putting ourselves on the line. So we hope that everybody else is going to put themselves on the line and come to terms with the fact that there are a lot of generational curses. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure there's one or two going around in every family. So,
and like specifically on a zoomed in scale for me, myself, you know, I went to school for broadcast journalism. I always wanted to start a podcast. I am obsessed with podcasts. That's all I do is listen to podcasts. And so, yes, me starting a podcast, like doing this, the action of starting Pretty Girl Privilege podcast was breaking the generational curse of not following your actual dreams, you know? So absolutely, this is a generational curse broken.
I love it.
Definitely.
Love it. So a standard question that we do ask here downtown, don't waste no time with negativity, is what is a recent situation, but I guess it could be pertaining to the podcast, maybe an experience that you guys have had where it doesn't have to be recent, but it was definitely negative. And somehow, some way, you guys rose above. And you kind of did mention something, but still, you rose above. You might have even surprised yourselves. And you guys chose not to waste any time with negativity.
So it's funny because right before we started the podcast, like I said, we worked in corporate America together. And literally the week that we were starting the podcast, like it may have been like a Tuesday before the Sunday that we were going to shoot the podcast, I was actually wrongfully terminated from my corporate American job. Like very wrongfully, like it was crazy, like out of nowhere, like, and there was more going on, even more personal stuff that's like, you know, any woman would have a hard time going through. And I still showed up and I still did what I had to do and still got through season 1, no matter what hardships that brought. So that was the biggest thing for me. You know, I'm like, girl, we about to start the podcast. I got fired.
How is this happening? Legit.
Legit. But it is what it is. It actually worked out better. You know, all things are working for our good. Exactly. God is intentional. So.
Ooh.
I mean, I've had a lot going on in my life as well. I told Dom, like, I feel like we're going through our best times during our worst. You know, there's definitely, I really don't feel like I can pinpoint one thing in regards to negativity, because I feel like every day I wake up, the devil is trying me. But I mean, I've always been a perseverer. I'm very resilient. I don't think anyone can ever stop me, not even the devil. So I'm just one of those type of people where I'm just going to keep it going. Even if I got to show up, you know, halfway full, I'm going to be there. So I definitely think that they're just life in general. And I think a lot of people are going through that, especially with the pandemic and just everything that's been going on.
Yep.
Agreed. But yes. So what are one of the biggest things that you could say you've learned about your child throughout this pandemic individually? Because I feel like as parents, it's very easy to give your child orders, tell them what to do, direct them, etc. I am not a mother. I do not have children. So hence why I ask and do not tell. But what is something that you can say you've learned about your child?
For me, my son is 2.5, so I'm learning something new every day. You know, he's like, it's hard at this age because literally every week it's like, he's doing this now, or, you know, it's just constantly changing. He's constantly growing. It actually, like, I always told Soul this during the pandemic, because I like I said, we would be on the phone for 12 hours straight. So she's having to school her work, make sure her son is in school. Her son is older, and so he's in school, and she's having to be, you know, she did the teacher and the working thing, you know. I didn't have to do that. So he's just naturally growing. He wasn't in school anyway, you know. He wasn't really, he's going through natural changes. He doesn't even realize he's stuck in the house because of a pandemic. He just thinks we're chilling, you know. But, exactly. But for Soul,
I think the one thing I learned about my son is that he's just as creative as me.
Wow.
I mean, over the pandemic, my son has started making beats. You know, he wants to be a YouTuber. It's like, I'm starting to realize that he has that. I'm like that. Like, I've always wanted to do everything. Like, if you ever asked me as a kid, I'm like, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that and I'm going to do this and that. Like, and I feel like I learned a lot about my son in regards to like his creativity.
That's
just
beautiful.
making a way out of nothing because, you know, he doesn't have kids to play with or he doesn't go to real school anymore. So
that's really beautiful because, as I said, like the older I get, I'm learning. You know, you learn that your parents aren't just your parents, but they're individuals. But on the other side of that, as parents, like, you know, how do we perceive the child? Because a part of breaking those generational curses is maybe not dealing with them the same way the generation before might have, right? So even the fact that we can, like, I remember one time my mother told me that, like, it was actually seen as disrespectful. My background is Jamaican, and it was seen as disrespectful around like the 40s, 50s to ask your parent or whoever was raising you when your birthday was. And I was like, what?
Oh, wow.
Your birthday? Like, that's your birthday? Like, are you?
Wow.
So how times have changed, you know what I mean? But like, it's very important to like just keep, imagine from then to now, like how different things are, but it still feels like things are getting swept under the rug. So that's beautiful. I love that.
Thank you.
On the reverse side, if you think your child would say, I know your child is too, but if you think they'd be like, this is something, you know, I noticed about mommy or learned about mommy. What is something during this pandemic?
He would say that once I did get fired from my job, I was a lot more patient. He would say, Mom got just way more patient and just, I don't know. He definitely likes me more now.
That's huge.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
huge.
yeah.
Because work and everything can just like weigh on you and you don't even notice sometimes. Maybe if you carry it home, you don't do it on purpose, but you know it happens. We're human.
Yep. It just happens. It happens. You can't help it. And you don't even honestly realize it sometimes until, you know, like later. And then you're like, wow, something like that would have made me so upset before. And now it's like, you know, it rolls off my back. It's just like that tension and that stress is just so unhealthy.
It is.
I think my son learned that I work so much. I know he knows that I worked a lot, but I think during the pandemic, he realized like, wow, you really do work a lot.
But
also, this is how we eat every day. Like,
yeah.
Seriously. So I really do love your guys' transparency because, as I said, generational curses is something that I personally do talk about on the show as well. And I've had the privilege of talking with so many different people. And it's just like, I'm happy that across the board, I feel like our generation and moving forward, everyone's kind of on the same page. Like, nah, we're not letting what used to be what it is in the future. So that's really, really beautiful.
No, definitely. Because I mean, at the end of the day, you don't want to pass those traumas down to our children.
No, at all.
At all. So in the news, I'm not sure if you guys have been hip to it all with what's been going on with like Joe Budden podcast network, but being in a partnership and being like having a podcast together, do you guys have any thoughts or like opinions about the situation? I definitely don't want to like feed anyone, but just in the general topic of maybe things that you've learned while building a podcast that maybe you guys didn't know at episode 1, because there's something to learn from every situation, right? And we eat fruit and mind our business, but
I mean, I would say with us, just in general, like we're both big on transparency
and compromise. We do compromise for one another. Like we really realized at the beginning of the whole conception of Pretty Girl Privilege is we were like, we both want to do it just as much as one another. Like, you know, like we both have the same passion. We both have the same drive. We both love this idea just as much as one another, you know? So that's
and I also think just the fact that we care about each other. Like,
that too. Yeah,
that plays a huge part too.
Yeah, you don't stay on the phone for 12 hours with someone you do not care about.
So it's like I would, even with little stuff, like I would call Don and be like, girl, I know, you know, you might not like this, but what about this idea? You know, and she'll be like, you know, I don't feel comfortable with this, but we can do this.
Right.
And I'm like, all right, that works. Like, you know, because I care about how Don feels.
Yes.
Honestly, more than the podcast. And I'm like, that's the problem with that situation.
Even the same thing with like the splits. We would never get weird about splits because I want to make sure that her family is eating just like my family is eating. You know, like for us, that would never be a thing. And then we just started together. So I know that they're different a little bit, you know, in that way, you know, But it's like, I'm just never going to.
And just being transparent. Like, if I don't like something, I'll say it. If she don't like something, she'll say it. Like,
and we can be, we're sisters. So if
Exactly.
you got to deal with it. I'm going to be here regardless,
Regardless.
So we can say whatever we need to say to one another.
Love that.
I just like it's both. The love for what we're doing and also the love for each other is, I think, how it balances out.
Yep.
Yeah, no, communication, very important. Balance, all those things that you guys mentioned is so important. And just seeing the situation unravel, like, I definitely agree with what you ladies are saying. And as well, just being on my side of things, where it's just kind of like, you have the show, you are a part of the show, but you also own the network. So maybe the responsibilities that may be on co-hosts that I may have is not the same as what I would probably have to deal with, right? And maybe sometimes just like people expect you to not necessarily hold their hand, but like be their team as well. And it's just kind of like, that's the
I definitely
part.
think it's different when you create something on your own and then people come aboard. That's a little different.
Yeah,
that's why I said I don't think that we could really identify with that situation just
Exactly.
because
we started from the bottom.
Like we're shooting in the gym together. Like
Right.
There's no way neither one of us can be like, well, this is my shit. Like
No,
what?
No, it's
Like, even then, just to communicate, right? Just to even have that conversation. Yeah. Yeah. No, that's beautiful. And thank you guys for just being open to even kind of talk about that topic, because I know some people are kind of like, but growing in the podcast world, it's something that people have never done before. So it's very important to, just like the music industry, entertainment industry, you're learning what has been done, what it hasn't been done, because that's what it is. You learn from history and how to be greater and do things in a more efficient and better way, right? So a lot of lessons to be learned in that. Now, what is maybe a pre-show ritual that you guys may have that us as the audience that you're comfortable sharing that we may not know about?
I don't know. Just like, if you know us, I just feel like we are a pre-show ritual. Like, I don't know. Like, we get ready and it's like, I'm the loud, like, dancing one, and she's just like, A, we yell a couple A's, a couple periods, a couple on God,
we get dressed together, make sure our makeup is straight,
we get on our producer's nerves. He get on his out maybe once or twice before we get on. It's like I feel like the whole thing is like a pre-show ritual. It's a vibe.
It's just a vibe. It's just, I don't know, that's all, just a vibe.
There's something so magical about like Black women saying A, and I like,
hey, I'm telling you,
hey,
like, I'm getting A, it's like level up, like, like.
Yes.
It's just the energy, like, who came up with this? Like, where did we get this from?
I don't know, but we need to keep it going.
I love us.
Soul is a whole vibe. Like, Dom, you guys are, like, I can see the dynamic between you two, the yin and the yang, and it's just so dope. Love it.
Yeah. We're definitely yin and yang in a lot of ways.
Now,
the crazy part is I feel like the things that people think I am is like kind of opposite a little bit.
It's weird. Like, I don't know.
What is something? What is something maybe you feel like people maybe misconceive about each of you? Maybe
so
Dom or misconceive about Soul.
People might misconceive from watching our podcast to think that maybe I'm the like really friendly one. Just because I'm like always hype, I'm always dancing.
Yeah.
When we go places, I'm like resting bitch face. And she's like, hi, I'm Dom. And everybody's like,
yeah, I'm the friendly one.
Bitch, sit down.
I'm definitely the friendly one.
Exactly.
I'm the friendly one.
But once I get a little bit of drinks, then I'm two-stepping with strangers, and Dom is one sitting there like,
yeah, I'm like, I'm more reserved in that way. Where I'm not gonna dance. I just like yell yay. I don't got the moves.
Listen, if the pandemic has taught anyone anything, life is too short not to dance on the dance floor right now. No time for turn up on the wall. No time to turn up on the corner. You have to go in the video light and just hey. So let me get in my bag.
I'm a fake Jamaican.
Listen,
I want to be.
You are welcome. You are more than welcome. Oh my gosh, that's so wrong of me. But where are you guys based?
I was going to
Where are
ask you
you
the
guys
same thing because you have an accent, like a Canadian accent or something like that. Where are you from?
Toronto, Canada.
I heard that in your voice. You're like about, that, like, that. But
So do we have an accent?
Yes.
We're from
Do
New
Toronto
Jersey.
people have an accent?
Yes.
bit.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Jersey?
And Drake's my favorite person in the world, so I catch it all.
Don't get her started,
I catch
please.
it all. But no,
We can talk about Drake.
Yes, all day. But yeah, we're from Jersey, South Jersey.
Dope. So clarify for me, where's South Jersey? Maybe is that closer to Philly or like?
Yeah.
Yep. It's
Okay,
20
okay.
minutes from Philly.
Like
I
we in
think
this
I went
joint.
there.
We're not in this joint. We in this joint.
Exactly.
So like if you're not familiar with Jersey, if you're from South Jersey, you call it a joint. If you're from North Jersey, you call it a joint.
Exactly.
You're more of a New
That is so
New Yorker.
true.
And
Because
down here, we're more of a Southern.
Yep.
Like when I went to school in North Jersey, they said that I sound like I was from down south. Like
Yeah. I was getting Atlanta vibes, but I was like, no, because some things weren't completely Atlanta. So I was like, let me ask.
Yeah, no. Jersey, South Jersey, though. It's weird how South Jersey is like the South, kind of, but
That is dope. I know, right? How did that
we're not that
happen?
country, though.
and we don't pump our own gas.
We don't pump our own gas. We do not do that. Ever.
Eat fruit and mind your business. There we go. No.
That privilege.
Period. But you're so funny. Like I felt like I was watching episodes of your guys' show and like now talking to you. I'm like trying to like not get zoned into like because you guys just make me feel so comfortable. And I'm assuming your audience feels the same way. It just feels like you're listening to your homegirls, you're talking with your homegirls. Everyone has like their own vibe, and like I love sarcastic funny. Like I live for that. So I be laughing,
what our name is. We're like two of the most sarcastic people in the world.
We're so sarcastic and just always making jokes. And people often leave our podcast and they're like, "Oh my God, I can't believe I said that." And we're like,
right?
Great. We love the transparency.
Like you might walk in the door and be like, I don't want to talk about this. By the time 20 minutes done passed, we talking about it.
Right? And you're like, how did I get here? How? So another standard question that we do ask, and I'll apply it to you guys individually. So either of you can answer first, is we have it used to be 4 elements, but now 5. Since I interviewed with Alex Marley, shout outs to you, King. He blew my mind with a 5th element. So now I've gotten permission to share it in the show. So you have the 5 elements: earth, water, fire, air, and spirit. Which element do you feel like resonates with you or represents you the most, and why?
I can go first if you want me to.
I would say water.
Why?
I don't know. I feel like I'm just so free going, just like a current. Like,
Yeah,
like water just always keeps going.
Like a free spirit.
Again, it's like relaxing. It's just so many things that I relate to when it comes to water. And I'm the drip queen. So, I mean, it's just, I feel like water, I'm a Pisces. Like, it's just everything. I love to swim. I feel my best in water. Like, so I would feel like that would be my element.
Got you. Yeah, I'm definitely going to say spirit. It's just all about the vibes, like the level of consciousness. Like I'm always like kind of like up here somewhere, just like zoned out, like, like in my own world, just like figuring out everyone and everything and myself. And I don't know, I am fire, like, without that 5th element, I would have said fire because I am that too. But I'm also just very unearthly. I don't know.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that, ladies. That is so you guys got earth, fire, and water. What a dope combo.
There you go.
Now, another thing that I love about Dom, I've obviously been able to communicate with you a bit more, but I've definitely been creeping on Soul's page. And what I love about the both of you ladies individually and together is like your guys' style, like your fashion sense, your style, like, and another thing about it is like, it's not just because of what you guys wear, also is how you put it together and just the energy that the photo shoots be giving, okay? Like the legs, the melanin, the skin, the angles, like were you guys always, I know you say you're the drip queen, soul, and everything, but were you guys always like women that I guess you could say knew how to dress? Was putting outfits together like easy for you? Like,
listen,
yes.
I be trying not to be cocky, but
let it out. Fuck that.
Yeah.
People that grew up with me from the mud, I love y'all, but y'all can't dress better than me. They always knew. They made fun of me for it.
Yeah.
Because I was always different. I never wanted to be somebody that stood in. I always loved to stand out. And I just always knew that I had my own path. I never had to be anybody else. And I could always do the things I wanted to do. I mean, it's a lot of things that I've done that people told me, oh, that's going to be horrible. I mean, I have 2 piercings in my face that I've had for 11 years. And people told me when I got these that I wouldn't be beautiful anymore, or you're going to mess your face up, or you're going to, like, and I just always walked to the beat of my own drum. And I just don't care what nobody thinks.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're the same way.
I am. It's weird because like Soul always said, like I am like, I would say out of us two, I wouldn't say I'm less confident, but I'm like
you're more minimal.
What are you saying right now, Dom? Are you serious?
I'm not.
That's what I'm saying. She don't know what she said the wrong word. She's more minimal than me.
I am.
I'm really gaudy. I'm really like in your face.
I'm
really like
in that way.
Yeah, like she's more minimal, but at the same time, she's still bringing.
It's hit.
So
yeah, like
raw.
I'm like, what are you?
Different.
I'm not even letting you say that right now. Like,
but no, I wasn't trying to say I can't dress. Don't get me wrong. Don't get it twisted. No. I'm always. That's the thing. I am confident in my style.
You give me okay.
That's the only difference.
I'm eating for my business, but like right now, if I were to describe it, like Soul gives me more of like Jigga early 2000 video girl vibes.
That's her.
Excuse me, miss.
I
like
actually own a brand, not to cut you off, but I actually own a brand. My brand is called Vintage Extinction.
Yes,
it's called VE. I've been in business for 11 years, and that's what I give. I give a vibe. I give a 90s vibe, a 2000s vibe. It's just my vibe. These were my favorite eras. I always have the long nails. I always have on my jewelry. I always have on my rings. I got my girl in. It's just something that I relate to. It's just, and I've been like this since I was young. My mom always draped me in name jewelry. And I get a lot of my stuff from my mother, so I can't even like try to play her like she's the big dog. But yeah, like I own a brand, so you're spot on.
Please
with
say
my
the name
brand.
again.
My brand
Please.
is me. I always say VE is me.
Please say the name again and where people can follow.
It's called Vintage Extinction, so that people don't stutter over it. It's VE. My IG is ITSVE, vintageextinction.com, and cop up with some drip.
Yes, I'll be hitting that. I really did not know. I just took a shot in the dark at that because I was just really just looking at you and based on the conversation we've had so far. And I was like, yeah, like these are the vibes I be giving. And like for you now, Dom, like right now, I know you be like giving all this good girl vibes, but the photos, okay? Okay. The photos. She's applying pressure. Like, what did you post the other day? You had on like this ombre color mask with like the denim shorts. Am I talking shit? You see what I'm saying?
I love that. Yes, that mask is BE. That mask is BE.
I gotta go through.
Yo, that mask is fire.
You look
right?
so good.
Thank you, girl. That's like my favorite new thing. Yeah. Vibes, we do our best.
Yeah.
We do our best.
We do our best.
We be doing the minimal. I don't even know.
So that whole myth of like moms can't look good, they can't feel sexy. You ladies are saying,
Oh no.
That's one thing I promote to women. I understand because I took a lot of time off to be a mom. I was a stay-at-home mom for about 2.5 years, and I did take away, I stepped away from my business. I stepped away from a lot of things to be a mom. And you get lost in it. You start to lose yourself. And I decided that it was like, I could juggle both. I don't have to be 100%, not saying 100% dedicated to being a mom, but I don't have to be in mom mode 100% of the time.
Exactly.
I can still have my fun. I can still have my interests. I can still have those things that uniquely make me me. I'm not just my son's mom.
Yeah.
I'm still soul, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So we, as women, we have to find a balance between that because you will lose yourself.
Definitely.
It's just like the analogy about in the airplane, you put your mask on before you put your kids on, because if you don't have your mask on, you can't put your kids on. You know, it's like you got to take care of you first, just in every situation in life.
You do. So that is perfectly, it's like you guys are like in my brain, but that leads to my next question, which is just like when it comes to self-care / no, I won't say skincare because that could be a form of self-care, but what are the ways that you ladies practice self-care in your life? Because as entrepreneurs, as mothers, it's go, and it's very important no matter what is happening to create that space for yourself. So what is some of the ways that you guys practice self-care in your life?
We make the time. Like
I was going to say, I think for me recently, it's just been traveling or just stepping away, like stepping away from my environment, you know, having that time to recharge and come back. And I've noticed that it definitely makes it a lot easier.
Yeah.
I literally will tell my boyfriend, like, I need a long shower tonight, which means I need a self-care shower tonight. I need to do a mask. I need to deep condition my hair. I need to shave. I need to do everything that I need to do. You need to take care of the baby and leave me alone for like 2-3 hours, you know?
Yeah.
Like sometimes that's for me, that is like taking care of myself, bettering myself, going to work out. That's another thing I've been doing. I just came from yoga, actually. That's why I look really like I just came from yoga, you know? So really like things like that have been like me taking care of me, like my actual self, my body, my skin, my hair has been like the biggest thing for me lately.
Yeah, I like solitude. Solitude is good for me right now. I like having time to either sit on my phone and research stuff, read. I just like being able to spend like an hour or two just with no interruptions.
Yeah.
So I'm a huge nerd. I'm a random thinker. I love like just researching things as well. So Soul, teach me something random. What is something you think I may not know, that maybe a weird fact or something that you may know?
Oh my God. You know what? I'm going to tell you something very funny just because I'm so random. And I have a culinary degree. So I went to school for culinary. And I have this friend and we were talking about just like artificial things. And she was eating something and I was like, you know, girl, they make half of that stuff from like a pineal gland from the beaver. And she was like, you're lying. I'm like, I'm telling you, like they're using beaver butt to make these products. So me and her looked it up. We did some research and she was like, oh my God, you're so right. And this is something I remember from 10 years ago. And I'm like, fact check it. So we did some research on that, but yeah, because I'm big on reading into what I'm eating as well right now. So she was talking about things with like red food color dye. I'm like, that stuff is made from a beaver's anal gland. And people are eating that stuff.
Wow.
I mean, I don't mean to gross anybody out, but
oh girl, you're not grossing me out. But like, wow. No, that is wow. No, because
I didn't know that. You definitely just taught me something.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. It's so random, but that was something randomly recent that I was talking to somebody about, and I had them researching it. So
that's good. You got me. You got me, because that's like it was just at the tip of my mind. Taurine, something like that in Red Bull. That ingredient is actually like horseburn.
No, it is.
So it's like
there's
people.
Ugh. Oh my God.
And then the most expensive coffee in the world is a coffee bean that they feed through these little things that look like little monkey koalas and they shit them out.
Oh, that's true. I think you may have told me that.
Yeah. No, honestly, I love watching videos like that, like World's Richest This or like all those YouTube videos. So I am literally going to research that, because I'll give you another random one. So since you're in culinary school, you definitely know what a sommelier is. And like, I was just in the rabbit hole of sommeliers because I'm like, we're home, we're drinking, let me see some wine, some red wines, whatever. And then a water sommelier came up and I was like, you can have a sommelier for water, but I'm like, that's so true, because not all water tastes the same. And pretty much what I learned through watching that is even a lot of the water that we drink is pretty much like the pop or like the club sodas of waters. Like it's not even doing nothing like it should, you know? So if we can to drink
the
like
strict of all its water and everything, that really does help us.
Yep. So Dom, do you have a random fact?
My new random fact about myself. Do you want me a random fact or a random fact about myself?
Anything. It's all about you ladies tonight. Anything.
I want to do a random fact about myself because I can't think of a random fact.
Okay.
Which I'm sure I have. All right. I'm addicted to ASMR.
What kind? I love ASMR.
The whisper community.
And they just whispered to you. Oh my God.
I know, girl. That's why I was like, tingles. Don't do it.
Soul is like, these fucking girls.
ASMR. Like anytime I say that to anyone, they're like, what is that? I have to tell them what it is. And they're like, you're weird.
Oh,
but I'm addicted to it. I don't care.
I'm addicted to watching them little tiny videos.
It's like the same thing. Like it's
which videos?
satisfying.
The little tiny videos where they cook the little tiny spaghettis and cakes and.
I'm gonna look at that. I never heard about. I watch Tiny Houses.
Tiny cooking. I love miniature stuff.
Me too.
I love you guys even more after. I swear to God.
They gonna be like, oh my God, these girls, they're cute, but they can do some weird shit.
I don't care.
I like tiny shit, and I used to play Pokemon. So.
Oh my gosh, what was your favorite Pokemon?
I would have to say, that's really hard because I identify with a lot of them. But I would honestly say I would say Jigglypuff. Because she is so cute.
Yeah.
Tom, what about you? Do you even know about Pokemon?
Nothing.
Not yet. Not yet.
Like, don't associate me with that shit.
I don't know. I'm sorry.
No, this conversation has been perfect because exactly what you guys said is what if everyone should have watched it to this point is exactly what you guys are giving, which is you are both beautiful women within and without, but as well, you can offer so much more than just what meets the eye. And that is so important for us to just remember as a message throughout life and just creating that example, because there is no right or wrong. There's no black and white how to be a woman. We just try to get through that shit as best as we can. As best as we can.
Oh God.
Yes. It's not easy at all.
Yeah. So I want in Toronto, there used to be a show back in the day. It was called Speaker's Corner. And it was like a telephone booth. And people could literally go in there, drop in like money or whatever, press record, and they could just get off their shit. Like you would see people breaking up with someone. You would see someone maybe that just got broken up with. You would see someone performing random songs to someone they love, and they'd just be streaming it like on this channel. So we've implemented this newly into the show, kind of like a Downtown World Speaker's Corner, but I'm giving you ladies the floor. It doesn't even have to be related, but anything that you guys would like to share, discuss, say, get off your chest, PSA to the world, something that needs to be said, the floor is yours. And after that, you can let everyone know where they can follow you guys, where they can support you guys. And Dom, you can as well let them know about your business. Because I know Soul, as speak of yours, you can let everyone know about your business as well. And yeah.
All right.
Really quickly, can we interrupt you really quick?
Of course.
So, I mean, while we're here, we might as well ask her like one or two questions that we usually ask on our podcast, if you're open for us asking.
Of course.
So, I mean, if you've watched our podcast, we want to know, what is your favorite porn category? You watch porn?
Okay. Do I give my honest answer or my video anser?
We want your honest answer.
We want the real, girl, because you know we've been really real.
Who I don't know if the world is ready for this answer, because like I feel like, as you said, people get judged. And it's not that I want to do it, it's just something about watching it. I'm like, this is kind of
what is it? We might have the same one because you sound like me, right?
Okay. One of my top ones is like gangbanging.
Girl, me too. Kind of, but like DP, same thing. But girl, me too. It's just interesting to like look at. Like it's like it's just a lot going on, and I don't know. The more the merrier, I guess. In their case, I don't want that on me, but you know.
The only thing is that like there's a borderline for me. Like if it looks like the girl is just too skinny and like I feel like she may be getting hurt, I'm kind of like, okay, this is like
this is a lot.
This is, like, yeah. But if she's a little, you know, thick mamacita, you know. What is yours? What is yours? What is yours?
Mine's CP, and so
I don't watch
CP. What?
Double penetration. So
okay.
It's just two guys and a girl, pretty much, you know.
Okay. I see that one too. I see
Yeah.
it there.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
what?
yeah.
So
I don't
what?
know. I don't watch porn. It makes me upset.
Upset. We
Because
gotta
she
find you a
wants me-
category.
No, I like sex. So I just feel like, what is the point of watching somebody else have sex when I could be having sex?
She gets like FOMO, kind of like, I don't know if FOMO is the right term, but
I
she
should
wants
be
to
here.
doing it. Yeah,
Right? Like,
yeah,
this should be
yeah,
me
yeah.
getting fucked.
Exactly.
But that's like weirdly enough for me, like that's what helps the like masturbation process to be like better because you like
I'm more of a imaginator, and I think it just comes with being who I am. Like, I'd rather think about an experience. I'd rather think about someone who's tangible. I'd rather see and look at pictures of something that I could see and look at.
No,
So
you're for real.
I'm
For
dead
real.
serious. Like,
No, I'm saying like
so-
for real. Like I'm just, I be switching it up like it's an actual.
It's nothing wrong with it. Like, I don't look down on people who watch porn. I think it's like, that's crunk. Like, I wish I could like really like, I wish I really could get it going
That's crunk.
to that. Like, that's popping, but I don't know. I just never was able to get into it. Maybe I will. Send me a couple things to look up.
I will. I will. I most definitely will. I'm going to follow add all the things and just put me over to your non-request side and I will send over the things.
There you go. There you go. All of the things.
You'll be like, this is not the girl that runs this.
I'm teachable. Listen, like we just said, don't judge a book by its cover. Like,
You
it's a lot of people who know us that watch the podcast and is like, oh my God.
Yes.
Or an episode so-and-so, you said this. I'm like, well, it is what it is.
And we like to just talk openly about sex.
Exactly. And I'm the same way. Like, I feel like I'm so open about it. But, it's ironic that you guys asked me that out of all the questions from your show, because last week on another show that I have, which is Eat Fruit, with my co-host Girl Killa, and the question that we had was, do you consider masturbation as self-care? So I'll throw that to you ladies. Yes. Our response was the same.
Self-love is the best love. Like, I don't know if I don't remember what episode we talked about it in, but for Mother's Day last year, I bought all of my girlfriends that were moms vibrators.
Mm-hmm. Amen to you. Are an amazing friend.
She is.
I'm like, look, self-love is the best love. We always going through shit. I'm like, look, we need to rub it out.
Good one too. A good one. And yes, I really enjoy masturbating. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's definitely a form of self-care for me.
Yes.
It is.
I just girl, your skin looks so great. You're always laughing. I'm like,
it's the masturbation.
I don't want to say, but shit.
I can't.
Right?
No, but thanks for being honest about your porn category. That was good.
Thank you.
You should ask her.
I don't remember our questions. I don't know. You put me on the spot. I don't know.
No, I'm an open book. For real. Go at me.
Okay. So, would you eat a man's ass?
See, naturally, I'd want to say like, no, but I definitely like, I'm discovering and learning that I am a person where like, if I'm comfortable enough, if everything is how it should, I'm very picky. So if you can follow all the things on that checklist to make me feel like that's a comfortable end zone to be in like that. Yeah.
Yes.
I hear that, honey. When you on an island and he just washed his ass, you just never know.
Why
you
not?
just never know.
A
shot a little down, Julio. You never know.
Okay, the 1942. Like, I just never want to say never. You know?
Exactly. Because you can meet someone and like they bring out a whole nother side to you that you like didn't even know was there. Ooh, I'm getting more hot.
I'm sorry, we didn't mean to turn your show into spicy time.
Oh, you're more than fine. You're more than fine. I love this. I love it a lot. And a fun question that we also like to ask on Downtown World. I love that you're culinary. So this is going to be so fun because I think you're the first person in the culinary industry I've even been able to ask this, which is on my personal page. I love food, love cooking. I'm always chefing it down at home or like eating something that is just, as my friend would say, chef's kiss. So I want to ask both of you ladies, what did you eat today?
I had Chick-fil-A, unfortunately.
What
due
do you,
to my busy
unfortunately?
schedule. Not saying that, but like I would definitely prefer something different. But I think with my schedule today, I was doing a lot of running around. Actually, you know what? And that's another thing. I actually went and got a mammogram today.
That's
so that's one thing too. We're definitely going to touch on in the new season.
Yeah.
Ladies, I have history of breast cancer in my family. So even though you might not be 40, definitely talk to your doctor about it if you know that you have it in your family. It was something for me that was hard at first, to, make that appointment. And, it's very scary, but at the same time, you always want to be proactive, not reactive. So
1,000.
Just want to throw that out there. So I was getting a mammogram and doing all types of stuff, getting my titty smashed. So I ate Chick-fil-A today.
I actually had, first things first, every morning I wake up and drink August Jones Essentials wellness shots, which is my business. August Jones Essentials. Every morning I wake up and drink my apple cider vinegar shot, my turmeric ginger shot, my wheatgrass shot. First things first. All right. That's August Jones Essentials, which is my wellness shot business at August Jones Essentials on Instagram. AJE. But after that, I had a protein shake, then I had a salad, and then I got really hungry, like right before yoga, and I didn't know what to do. I didn't want a protein shake, so I did slip up and eat like a turkey and cheese roll. Like, when you put the turkey and cheese together, put a little mustard on, and I ate it. Like, I don't know. And now my stomach's growling over here because I haven't eaten since. So,
well, I hope you ladies have something like yummy tonight.
Yeah, probably not. I probably just drank water.
I know those ones because I've been attempting to stick to my intermittent fasting, so 12 to 8. But like now it's just kind of like, I might have a glass of red wine. I might have that slice of leftover pizza.
It'd be like that, but don't do it, girl.
Both things sound delicious, but just don't
drink the wine. Don't eat the pizza.
Yeah, drink a little bit of red wine. That's always nice.
And just go to sleep. Like literally.
Yes.
Or eat some fruit. Eat some fruit.
Period. You know what? So most of like right now I don't have like any fresh fruit that you could just eat like that, because this week I've been doing mostly like veggie juices. So I do juice like pretty much every day. So I wanted to ask you before I continue, Dom, do you deliver or ship international for your business, or is it just in the States?
Great question. So we've been trialing shipping, and here USPS like is really terrible right now. Like ever since like ever since COVID and like the last administration, like USPS is like really bad. So I've been trying. I trial. So actually what I've been doing, I've just been having people send me their like address, and we just check to see if it'll work. Like I just like send some small shots there, see if it'll work. And if it doesn't work, I have to try another time. It's hit or miss with them. They like never get it right. And because it's a perishable thing, it just is what it is.
Well, that's all a part of growing a business as well, right? Trial and error. That's how we learn.
So much trial and error.
How to think. Yes. Exactly, right? So thank you for being vulnerable about that. I will give it a try, and I hope it works, because that is something so important. And that is another reason I know your lady's skin is just glowing and things. And like people ask all the time, like, what do you do? Whatever, but water, fruits, sleep, and like amazing showers. What else did we say? Masturbation. Those are like top tier things that like has this just floating through life. So
traveling. Traveling.
Very important. Very important. Over here it's like super locked down. It's super like depressing.
Yeah.
But they said June 2nd we should have like finally the malls and stuff. Right now it's just grocery stores and essential. Even like the Walmart, like you go in there, all the other sections like electronics, everything is literally like saran wrap.
Wow.
You can't buy any, like you can only pretty much just order things online and get it mailed to you. Anything outside of groceries. So it's pretty depressing over here right now. But downtown world, don't waste no time with negativity. I got work, I got beautiful opportunities like this to get to know beautiful people like you and get to knowing the host of Pretty Girl Privilege podcast. And it helps to just uplift spirits and let us know, remind us that we're not alone, regardless of where we are in the world.
Right. Absolutely.
So I want you guys once again to let everyone know where they can follow you, what is to come with the Pretty Girl Privilege podcast, what day you drop, and yeah.
Perfect. So you can find me at dom.fowler. So that's at DOM.FOWLER on Instagram, and that will lead you to everywhere else. The link in my bio is going to take you to the Pretty Girl Privilege podcast YouTube page, and in my bio you'll also see August Jones Essentials. So if you just go to dom.fowler, you'll find everything there.
For me, my IG is callme_soul. That's SOLE. Pretty much my brand is at ITSVE. It's VE. You'll find all of the Pretty Girl Privilege stuff directly on my IG as well, and also any information on shopping with my brand. Definitely follow us, subscribe, like, comment, watch our videos on YouTube. Also hit up our IG. We are at Pretty Girl Privilege Podcast.
Yep.
We're definitely going to be dropping some new content soon. We will be back on your YouTube come next month.
Yes.
We are very excited to start our second season. Come back 10 times better. Because honestly, it was just an idea we manifested. We went through a lot of shit behind the scenes.
A lot.
And it was all just trial and error, like we just spoke about. So this season, we wanted to come back, take a break, kind of get ourselves together just so that we can get this together and just come back bigger and better for you guys.
Yep.
I love that. Love that. And there's nothing wrong with evolving, growing, taking the time to do so. And thank you, ladies, just for such a beautiful conversation. It was fun. It was Pretty Girl Privilege, like, period.
Period. Thank you so much for having us. This has been a pleasure.
Are you going to sing Pretty Girl Privilege with us?
Of course.
All right. So this is what we do. We go 1, 2, 3, and then Pretty Girl Privilege, right? All
Okay.
right. You ready? All right. So 1, 2, 3. Pretty Girl
Privilege. I love it. Thank you, ladies, so much.
About to go downtown.